Hi, everyone. This is Rick Dwyer, CEO and co-founder of Liquid Mining, a Bitcoin mining operation located in Pontiac, Michigan. In today's video, we're going to talk about why does Bitcoin have value? Well, there are about four main reasons: supply and demand, scarcity, you need real work to be able to generate Bitcoin, and then adoption. So let's start off with supply and demand. So with any asset that's for sale, the more of it that's available, normally the lower the price. And the more scarce it is, the higher the price. And that really comes down to adoption. And as adoption increases, you have more people trying to go after, or in this case, accumulate Bitcoin. And the more people that are accumulating it, if it outpaces the amount that's being generated through mining, well, then you're going to get a price increase. If we have more Bitcoin being generated and less demand, then we can see the price drop. And we've seen some big volatility in price of Bitcoin, and we're going to get over that in just a few minutes. But another factor that's impacting supply and demand is the fact that individuals, businesses, and countries are adopting Bitcoin. So individuals, a lot of them are holding on to it because they think it's going to be an increase in value. Businesses are getting involved because they see it as a way of expanding market share to people that want to be able to transact business, and an easy way to do it. A lot of companies have already started investing in Bitcoin infrastructure and have rolled out methods to go ahead and transact in Bitcoin. PayPal is an example. Microsoft's an example. There are hundreds of examples of countries, if not thousands, around the world. And countries are actually adopting Bitcoin, with some actually making it legal tender, replacing their current home currency. And some of the adoptions that have been going on have caused, as I said, high volatility, because if you have a lot of demand and you have a limited supply, you can see the price increase dramatically. And also, if you have large sellers that are selling Bitcoin with very little buying, then we can see the price drop as well. And we've experienced that in the last year. We saw the price in 2021 go up from virtually around 17,000 all the way up to almost 70,000. And then as the markets in general started to start going down on the in the stock market, the oil markets, et cetera, we started to see those prices drop. And then we also saw the cryptocurrency markets drop, including Bitcoin, and it went down as low as 15,000, right around 15,300. Today, Bitcoin's up right around 24,000. It is February 2023. But as adoption of Bitcoin continues to increase, as more and more people are holding it, companies are holding it, countries are holding it, it's expected that the volatility in Bitcoin will moderate and become much more smooth, on par with maybe the stock market and eventually possibly even the currency markets. Another key feature of Bitcoin pricing and value is its scarcity. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoins ever issued. Currently, there are 19.3 million Bitcoins issued, but it's going to take to the year 2140 before the remaining 1.7 million Bitcoins actually get issued. And part of the reason for that is what's called the halving. And we're going to go on over the halving on another video. But effectively, what the halving does is it decreases the amount of Bitcoin that's being issued on a regular basis every 4 years. There's another one coming up in 2024. But as I said, we'll cover that in another video. And another interesting fact about the 21 million Bitcoins, in 2021, it was estimated that there were over 56 million millionaires worldwide. That means that if every millionaire, which includes billionaires, wanted one Bitcoin, there isn't enough Bitcoin to go around. So that's some of the pressure that we could begin to see eventually in the price of Bitcoin when people start to realize that this is actually gaining greater and greater adoption and they want to be involved. So that hasn't reached that point yet. But we are seeing some stabilization in price. And I think as we see the price continue to go up, we could see greater adoption. But I don't think we're going to see the point where the entire world starts jumping on the Bitcoin bandwagon for probably somewhere in the 5 to 10 year time frame. That doesn't mean there's not a good amount of money to be made in the meantime, but global adoption on a very large scale is still probably 5 to 10 years down the road. Also, Bitcoin cannot be manipulated arbitrarily, so it can't automatically have someone push a button and increase the supply above 21 million. It just can't happen. That's not how it's designed. 21 million, final Bitcoin 2140. And that has some major implications, which we'll cover in just a minute. Finally, we have real work. In other words, if you were to mine gold as an example, or you want to own gold, you could do it a couple ways. You could either go out and buy it at a jewelry store or from some other marketplace. You could even buy it online. Or you could mine it. You could invest in the infrastructure needed for mining, find the right piece of land to go ahead and mine it, and then you can mine the gold. And if you mine it overall for less than the cost to buy it, then you're making money on the gold that you're mining. Well, Bitcoin is no different. It takes capital investment in infrastructure, power, operations, etc., to be able to mine Bitcoin. You can't just create Bitcoin. It's not something that you can just snap your fingers and have. You either have to buy it through an exchange or from a person in a peer-to-peer transaction, or you can set up the equipment, the infrastructure, and you can mine it. So those are the two ways you can get Bitcoin. By the way, any Bitcoin that you buy from someone else was previously mined. So the only way that Bitcoin gets into the system is through mining. So it's very similar to gold. You can mine it, you can buy it, you just can't create it out of thin air. Now let's compare that to fiat currency. And a fiat currency is a name for all the currencies in the world that aren't backed by gold. They're just backed by the good faith and credit of that country. In the US, we got off the gold standard in 1971. And right now, our national debt, it currently exceeds $31 trillion. It's a little over 31.5 trillion, actually, with total unfunded liabilities, which include Social Security, Medicare, all the other commitments that the US government has made. It exceeds $180 trillion. That is a lot of money. The government has issued so much money that today it takes $50 to equal $1 from 1913, or to put it a different way, a 1913 dollar is worth the equivalent of 2 cents today. So if you ever felt like you were earning more money than you've earned before, but you just don't seem to be getting ahead, well, that's inflation at work. And when you own a dollar, it still works like a dollar. It's worth a dollar. The only problem is that dollar doesn't buy as much as it used to because prices of everything else around you have gone up. Satoshi Nakamoto, as we mentioned in the previous video, was the creator of Bitcoin. Once again, no one's sure if that's an individual or a group of individuals, but they wanted to launch a system that couldn't be corrupted by anyone, especially banks and governments. And they didn't want it to be artificially inflated, because usually when money's manipulated, it's usually for the benefit of the government or the banks. And I just want to come back to adoption one last time, because it has increased every single year since Bitcoin was launched. We currently have in excess of 44 million wallet addresses that have a greater than zero balance of Bitcoin. Last year, it was around 39 million. So it does increase every single year. And as I've said previously, as adoption increases, it also puts pressure on the demand side for Bitcoin, which should go ahead and increase the price. But that's why Bitcoin has value. The main reasons are its scarcity, supply and demand, and the fact that you can't just arbitrarily create it or manipulate it. It has to be mined. So I hope that helps you understand why Bitcoin has value. And if you would like to get more information on Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies and the crypto and Bitcoin markets, continue to watch the videos. We'll continue to bring you up to speed. And for now, I hope you have a great day. Thank you.